Hello NEET-PG aspirants, how are you guys doing? So I had lots and lots of DMs on my Instagrams and messages on my YouTube channel regarding a concise plan for NEET-PG revisions. So guys, yes, now we are left with very less time before our NEET-PG exams and you must be in your revision phase. So I'll tell you a 90-day plan to revise all 19 subjects at least 3 times in this video. So without further ado, let's get started with the video. Guys, I'm Dr. Shaurya Verma, consultant ophthalmology and your own eye doctor. As I've already told you in my last video that you need to at least have 3 revisions before the exams to be rock solid at the time of your exam. Listening that you have to do 3 revisions can be overwhelming, but I'll tell you how to do it in a time frame of just 90 days. So what you have to do is, firstly, you have to divide these 90 days into 50 days, 25 days and 15 days span. First revision will take 50 days, second revision in 25 days and third revision 15 days. So you have to do your first revision so solid that next time when you revise, you take only half of that time. And second revision should be so solid that subsequently you require lesser time for the next revision. So now I'll tell you about your first revision, how you will do your first revision. So if we take this 50 days, then you have to divide this 50 days into 3 categories. First one is for short subjects, second is for intermediate subjects, and third is for long subjects. So if we take short subjects, then you have 6 short subjects and you require 6 days for completing short subjects, that is 1 day each subject. So what are those subjects? You already know: dermatology, orthopedics, psychiatry, radiology, anesthesia and forensic medicine. So these 6 subjects will require 1 day each and total of 6 days to complete these subjects. Now when you come to intermediate subjects, intermediate and long subjects you can divide. You can divide it according to yourself, how you have studied and what are your weaker points. Guys, before going on to the intermediate subject, I would like to tell you that in this schedule only, in this time frame only, you have to plan in such a way that you have to give grant tests, because grant tests and MCQs are the only thing which will keep you on your toes for revision and will always be a reality check for you. So you do not have to leave grant test. As I said in my earlier video, if you haven't watched my earlier video, you can click on the link above and see it for yourself, because grant test you cannot skip. You cannot afford to skip grant test at this time. So also make a schedule for your grant test. For example, in this 50-day span, you can give your grant test on every alternate Sundays. So there will be 4 grant tests in 2 months, and subsequently I'll tell you about your second revision and third revision also, but at least cover 5 grant tests in this 50-day span. That grant test will give you a reality check on your preparations and will tell you about your strong points and now coming upon to the intermediate subjects. So now intermediate and long subjects you have to divide it according to yourself, but how I did, I'll tell you. Intermediate also I divided among 2 parts. One part was little longer subjects and second part was a little shorter subjects. In little shorter subjects I would consider ENT, ophthalmology and pediatrics. So ENT, ophthalmology and pediatrics I gave 2 days. You can also do like this, you can give 2 days each for ENT, ophthalmology and pediatrics. So that will count to 6 days. Now 6 days for short subjects, 6 days for intermediate short subject, and 3 days you can give to intermediate long subjects, in which I would consider anatomy, physiology, biochemistry. Guys, here for biochemistry, I followed something else, some other plan, because biochemistry was one subject which was very overwhelming for me. It was very difficult for me to read it and remember all the points in biochemistry. So I followed something else for biochemistry. I'll let you know at the end of the video. For now, the intermediate long subjects would be anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, patho, micro, pharma. So these 6 subjects you can give 3 days each, because these are little longer subjects. So 6 3s are 18 plus 6 days for intermediate short subjects and 6 days for short subjects. So 18 plus 6 plus 6, that is 30 days. Now in 30 days you have completed your short subjects and intermediate subjects. Now 4 subjects which I considered as long subject and you might also consider as long subject would be medicine, medicine, surgery and gynae. So for these subjects I gave 4 days each. So if you give 4 days each for these subjects, you will be 4 4s are 16 and 30 you have given before, so It will be total of 46 days. So in 46 days, you will complete your first revision. These 4 days that you have extra, that I've considered that if you miss some days at the time of your revision because of anything, so you have 4 days extra. And also I've considered that if you give a grand test and then analyze that grand test, majority part of that day goes into giving a grand test and revising and knowing your faults and recalculating and rescheduling and replanning before proceeding further. So majority of that day goes in replanning and rescheduling. So I've considered 4 days extra. This was my plan for first revision, and also I'll subsequently tell you about your second and third revisions when time comes. Also, as promised, I'll tell you about what I did for biochemistry. So biochemistry was very difficult for me. So what I did was, I did not give a single day to biochemistry. What I did, that every day I would revise 5 pages from biochemistry, because mainly it consisted of lots and lots of cycles. So cycle is something which I could not remember every time. To remember that, I had to revise it very frequently. So what I did for biochemistry was, I used to passively revise biochemistry, that whenever I would take a break or I would go off to sleep, when I would lay down on my bed, I would try and remember few cycles from biochemistry. And of course, I would forget many points at many levels of the cycles. So next day when I get up, I would see that points, and again when next day when I go to sleep, I would try to remember that cycle. So this was my way of studying biochemistry, because giving biochemistry 3 days according to me was not very good decision, because even if I would have given 3 days, then also after 10 days I would have forgotten. But in this way, it came in front of my eyes almost every day, and so I could remember it at the time of exams. I did not miss a single question of biochemistry in my at the time of the NEET-PG exams. So yes, this trick worked for me. So you can also apply this trick if you think that it would work for you. Also, let me know in the comment section if you want to know anything about NEET-PG preparations or how to proceed further from this place. I would be happy to help you guys. Guys, stay motivated and study very, very hard. You are just few steps away from becoming a specialist doctors. So do not give up at this point. Study very hard and you will definitely come up with flying colors. I'll be waiting after the NEET-PG exams to hear your success stories and read your messages. So all the best. And this is me signing off with the promise of coming with a new video that would help you in your preparations. Till then, stay tuned.